Who was Nelson Mandela, and why do we celebrate his day? Well, Nelson Mandela was born in South Africa in 1918. That would make him 102 years old. Now, Nelson wasn't born with the name Nelson. His name was Holishlasla, which means to pull the branch off a tree or troublemaker. When Nelson was 7 and he went to school, his teacher said, "You're going to be known as Nelson." And from that day on, he was known as Nelson. In this photo, you can see him as a young man wearing his traditional clothes. He was very proud of them. There are not many pictures of him as a young man or a child because the government of the day didn't want people to know what he looked like. He grew up in the Transkei, in the countryside, in a place called Mvezu. Nelson loved being outside. He looked after the animals when he was little. Here you can see him as an older man going to visit the young boys who looked after the goats. That's a job he would have done as a little boy. His favorite game was the stick game. In this picture, you can see the young men wearing protection over their arms and they've got helmets on. When Nelson played this game, they had no protection. After school, he went to the University of Fort Hare and got a bachelor's degree. Then he went to the University of the Witwatersrand and he became a lawyer. He loved boxing. It was his favorite sport. He wanted all people to be free. But when Nelson was a young man, that wasn't what happened in South Africa. And he decided to spend his whole life working so everybody had equal rights. Remember all the events that led up to June the 16th, when black children and white children couldn't go to the same school? Well, that's what happened when Nelson was growing up. And Nelson decided that everybody had to have an equal right. Because of what he did, the government didn't like him and they sent him to jail. Here you can see him in a court of law and he is telling the judges what he did. They didn't like it at all. He went to Robben Island. Now some of you may have visited Robben Island. It's a tiny little island off Cape Town. It's in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. The water's freezing cold and it's surrounded by sharks, so it's very, very difficult to escape. This is the prison where Nelson was kept. In this photo, you can see the flag flying at half-mast. That means somebody very important must have died the day this photo was taken. In the background, you can see Table Mountain. Now, when you're in jail, you don't have a room. It's called a cell. This is Nelson's cell. You can see the door, big security gate, and the bars on the window. In jail, you're not known by your name. You're given a number. Nelson's number was 46664. When he was in jail, he had to spend many hours breaking stones. They had to sit in lines. They weren't allowed to talk to each other. They weren't allowed to wear hats or have sunglasses. The stones were white and the sun shone down brightly. This ruined Nelson's eyes. When he was an older man, he always had to wear sunglasses. Free at last! The government decided that yes, they were wrong, Nelson was right, Everybody needed to be free. And here you can see him walking out of jail as a free man. He's standing next to his wife, Winnie. Winnie also spent many years fighting for freedom. He was let out of jail on the 10th of February, 1990. He became the first black president of South Africa. He was an amazing president and did so much good for our country. Nelson spent 67 years of his life working for peace. We must remember what he did for our country. We must give back 67 minutes, that's just longer than 1 hour, to help other people. Remember, Nelson never met us, but he helped us. Now we need to go and help somebody else. Here we can see Nelson looking out the bars of his window. What is he looking at? Yes, he's looking at Table Mountain. Here are some other images of Table Mountain. What I want you to do is get an A4 piece of paper, have a landscape, and then draw the outline of Table Mountain. The first little mountain is called Devil's Peak, then it goes down, then it goes up to the flat part of Table Mountain. That little bump at the end of the table, that's the cable car station. Maybe some of you have been there. You go down, that next little bump is Signal Hill. Maybe pause the video and draw your outline. Then in front of the Table Mountain, I would like you to put some bars. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Before you put the bars, if you want to, you may color in the sky, color in the mountain, and put the sea in front of it. Then around the outside, put the window frame. I've made the window frame black, but you may make it any color. Then at the bottom, I'd like you to put Nelson's number, 46664. Put it nice and big. Here is an image of somebody else's picture that they drew of Nelson's cell looking out at Table Mountain. What are you going to do to give back 67 minutes of your time to our wonderful country? I can't wait to hear about it.